Kaito's Genesis NFT collection went from a 0.1% mint to a 7 Ethereum floor price in under 30 days. This price movement right here is a reflection of the hype and the attention that Kaito's ecosystem has on it, and is effectively the most viral product Web3 has seen in 2025. You cannot open your feed on X right now without seeing Kaito being mentioned and being talked about. By the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly what led to Kaito becoming the most viral product. And it all starts with overcoming the cold start problem. I myself, with Unfungible, have had over 1,600 calls with Web3 founders like yourself probably watching this. And one of the most common scenarios that a lot of builders find themselves in is they don't know how to overcome the cold start problem, which is, how do I start getting traction on my ecosystem? In Web3, it almost feels like it's a select group of people who end up getting traction overnight, and no one understands what led to this team gaining the momentum that they have. And they're often stuck trying a lot of things without anything really catching on or working. If this sounds like something you personally relate to, worry not, because most founders face that specific situation. Let's talk about overcoming the cold start problem and how Kaito did it. For those of you who don't know, this is a good history class lesson. Kaito is an AI analytics platform. What it does is that, according to Kaito's own words, Kaito AI is the highest quality research and analytics. With Kaito, what you have the ability to do, which is not too different from other tools, is the ability to see social sentiment. See for each specific account on X, what is the amount of smart followers that they have, the real engagement that they have, how viral are they, and how much perhaps is their engagement botted. It also allows you to take a broader picture into mindshare. So for example, for the AI niche, who are the loudest voices? For the meme coin space, who are the loudest voices at different amounts of times? Where is the mindshare in Web3 changing? So they first started off by building out a pretty good tool, but not anything new and revolutionary that this space hasn't seen. And one of the things that Kaito as a team worked on is the aesthetics of the platform, which we're going to be talking a little bit later in terms of how they actually went viral later on. But one of the things they worked on is the aesthetics of the platform. So what started happening, slow and steady, is that people, this is around October 15th, 2024 that I'm showing you right here. People started using Kaito's data as part of their in-depth market research for Web3. Now the question you might have right now is, how did they even get people to start using their platform? That's right, I got you. The way they were able to do it is by having a strong business development team, reaching out to content creators and having conversations with them, doing demos. How do I know this? You might ask, Leon. The way I know this is that I have actually, with my team, been in touch with Kaito long before they became a viral sensation. And that was in April 21st of 2024. So what we have right here is a screenshot. I've blurred any information that we don't need to know. And this is pretty much the team, my team and Kaito's team being in touch regarding the demo. And what they did is that they offered these early users of Kaito a free trial for the platform. Hey, get a feel of it. Happy to answer any questions, happy to take you through the platform, and feel free to use it yourself. You have 7 days of free trial. This is how they were able, before even Kaito becoming the viral sensation that it is today, just to be able to get in, spark these conversations with people like myself that create content, do deep dive analysis into the Web3 space, and have them just expose them to the product and how they could use that to enhance their research. Now, the reason why this is interesting from a marketing perspective is that they started by building their core community first before building their surface community. This right here is your deep community. And oftentimes what brands try to do is they try to go wide before going deep. And what Kaito did is that they fragmented the market down to its very first layer of potential customers that could use their product. That being on-chain researchers. people that create content about the market, on-chain data. So they went directly down to that target profile. Well, today Kaito is very different. Everyone and anyone engaged in Web3 is talking about Kaito, but they first started by nurturing their deep community. And this is something that Luca Netz has greatly talked about during the many podcast interviews and Twitter spaces that we've done together. He talks about how the big reason why Pengu and now Abstract and the whole Pudgy Penguins ecosystem is successful is because they started by building their deep community before going wide. So that's a great example. And the way Kaito was able to nurture these deep relationships was by taking on a less scalable, yet a lot more targeted one-on-one approach with the types of people they would onboard into their ecosystem. So at this stage of their marketing, around October 24th, 2024, 1 month before the launch of their NFT, they already had in place their core deep community. People were using the product, they refined their product, they knew they had something working. They had some form of product market fit. Now, it was time to go one step above and start building a wider audience base. And this is when they introduced a product that served that wider audience base. That product being called the Kaito's Yapper Leaderboard. And what the Yapper Leaderboard is a mindshare of the creators within specific ecosystems. And going back to this, they didn't just do all of crypto Twitter. Instead, where they specialized themselves in, they noticed that a big percentage of the existing customers that they had on the product were that were builders on Berachain, an upcoming L2 on Ethereum. So what they did is that they rolled out the Yapper Leaderboard specifically for Berachain. So this was a partnership with the Berachain. And how it worked is pretty much the more Yapper score people had for the Berachain, it meant that these people were the most vocal about Berachain, so they would get an allocation. So they started going deep within the Berachain ecosystem, really positioned themselves as a product for that ecosystem, onboarded a big percentage of that community. What is interesting for me, by that stage, I was starting to see Kaito on my feed. I was starting to see them more regularly, but not as much as I do now, because I wouldn't consider myself a Berachain maxi. However, I was starting to see Kaito on my timeline. People talking about it, people posting their screenshots of their leaderboard. Hey guys, I'm the #1 yapper for Berachain, all these things. So things were starting to cook for Kaito at this stage, which was early November of 2024. Seeing the success of this rollout right here. So this right here happened on November 18th, 2024. A couple days after, exactly 1 week after, that's where they announced their NFT launch. And it was a pretty swift launch, 0.1 Ethereum for a collection of 1.5K NFTs. And these NFTs were primarily allocated for early Kaito users. So people that were using Kaito within their research, pretty much all the users that were there throughout the year. And for them, the NFT was a way to reward their early supporters. So people who held the NFT would get premium benefits from within the ecosystem. They would get more airdrop tokens once the airdrop goes live for Kaito AI. It would pretty much be a way to thank early supporters and incentivize deeper participation from within the ecosystem. And the NFT right here on December 20th pretty much sold out instantly. It didn't even go to public and hit very quickly a 2 to 3 Ethereum floor price and then sat there for a couple days. It was around this time where Kaito did their next move. So now they were layer 1, they went layer 2, which was Berachain. So Berachain right here. Then they did what is their level 3 rollout, which was Monad. So just like they did with Berachain, they went to another super hyped ecosystem for Monad. And you can see Monad, also another chain that is up and coming, a lot of attention on that ecosystem. You can see Monad, the official account, on January 25th, making the announcement, Yap only, Yap early, Yap often, O and G Monad. And this is, quote, retweeting Kaito AI that says, hearing Monad yaps at 10,000 yaps per second. Tomorrow we will find out. So they took the blueprint that was a success on Berachain, applied it to Monad. A couple days after, so the Monad announcement happened on November 25th. On December 2nd, they announced their next market expansion, but this time it was the CT leaderboard, which means crypto Twitter leaderboard. And this is when their AI system analyzed the mindshare of everyone on crypto Twitter. So who are the main thought leaders? Who are the main market movers? Who are the people that have the ability to move markets and really be a voice for specific ecosystems? And this right here became the moment where Kaito AI started to become the talk of the town. And I'm going to be telling you why at this stage right here, going viral. However, this was the turning point where all of a sudden, all of the big crypto Twitter influencers and thought leaders started posting themselves. I'm the only VC, started posting themselves as, hey, I'm an emerging yapper on Kaito AI. And this is where things really started to boil up, and ending with what happened in the last couple of days, which is Kaito AI rolling out what was the success of the Berachain test, the Monad rollout, and all of a sudden rolling this out to more ecosystems, such as Fantasy Top, Anime Chain by Azuki, or Story Protocol, another ecosystem in the Web3 space. So this right here is the story of how a brand, which was a typical boring data analytics platform that, we have many of them in Web3, was able to become the most viral product and sensation in the Web3 space. And looking at this rollout, there's an illustration as to why this happened with Kaito, while it didn't happen for products that are similar to what Kaito is doing. Because truth be told, Kaito aren't the first people doing what they have from a technology perspective. However, it seems like they've done the best at engineering virality within its core. And there are two main phenomenons that I have observed that were embedded and built deep into Kaito that made it the viral product that it is today. And these are two principles that I've learned from the book Contagious, Why Things Go Viral, which are also principles that I spoke about quite in depth in one of the previous case studies that I've made about pudgy penguins. So if you want to dive deep into all the principles of Contagious, make sure you watch that video with pudgy penguins. But the two principles that are most relevant for this case study are number one, social currency, and number two, public. Let me explain. According to the book Contagious, people are a lot more likely to share things that make them look good. That is the reason why people post their stories on Instagram when they're in specific locations, when they want to show off specific things. When people get a diploma, they want to post a picture. They want to show it to other people because it makes them look good. So when a product has the ability to make someone look good, people are a lot more likely to want to share it, making it a lot more viral. When it comes to Kaito specifically, underneath what is called the Yapper score, which in crypto Twitter is just like you talk a lot, but underneath the blanket of Yapper is the underlying understanding of how much of a big shot or a thought leader or an influencer you are in crypto. The more of a Yapper you are, the more relevant you are, the more powerful your voice is in Web3. This is an easily understood fact. And what Kaito was able to do is they were able to wrap what is typically something people wouldn't want to just show off if it was called the influencer score. It's cringe sharing what is the influencer score. But they were able to wrap it into a comical, light and fun keyword called the Yap score. So all of a sudden what this did is that allowed these big people, these big influencers, to show off how big of a deal they are without coming off as someone just like, hey, look at me, look at how great I am. So from a core perspective, the Kaito product of the Yapper leaderboard made the people part of the leaderboard, the people emerging in the leaderboard, it made them look good. And it made people want to share that to their audience. And this brings us to the second phenomenon from Contagious. So there was social currency, people share what makes them look good. Number two, public, which says that when a product is built to show, it is built to grow. And the way Kaito was able to do it is right there on your user profile, you have the ability to literally copy, with one click of the button, you have the ability to tweet that out. And it all of a sudden copied the entire post, showing your social analytics, showing how cool of a person you are, your growth curve, all these great things about you. But they made the product so easy to show and so aesthetic to show that all of a sudden that is how we were able to have a phenomenon like this one, where people are just showing off their data and just publishing it all over the internet. So for you as a founder, try to think, anytime you engineer your product, how can you engineer it in a way where it makes the users look good about themselves and make it as easy as possible for them to share it on their social media. Don't make it hard, don't make it complicated, make it as easy as possible for them to become your marketing ambassadors. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Leon Aboud. If we are not connected on X, make sure you follow me at @LeonAboud_, and make sure you send me a message telling me you came from X. Always love to follow back fellow YouTube watchers. With that, I will see you in the very next video. Cheers.